An investigation has been launched to determine who's recruiting illegal miners in Stilfontein. That's in the northwest. The Police Minister, Senzo Mchunu, and the National Police Commissioner, as well as the Defence Force Chief, are expected to visit the area. Now, the National Police spokesperson, Athlenda Mathe, joining us now for an update on the situation there. Brigadier, good evening to you and thank you for your time. Let's start with the numbers that you are disputing. We have been talking about 4,500 people that are underground. What do your figures tell you? Because you are saying the number is much less than what has been said.
Well, a very good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. In terms of the numbers, Xoli, we do feel that the numbers are being exaggerated. We have pooled all resources and mobilized maximum resources to work on this particular case. We have been collecting information. We've got our intelligence operatives on the ground that are working closely with key stakeholders. We have managed to estimate the numbers to be between 350 and 400. We don't dispute that there are hundreds of illegal miners that are underground and refuse to resurface, but we are only disputing the exaggeration of the thousands that are still stuck underground.
So where do you put that figure? I think you may have put it in the hundreds.
Yeah, we are putting the figure to be between 350 and 400 illegal miners that are still underground and refuse to resurface. We have been making this call to all illegal miners to resurface, and I think as a responsible government, we have gone to great lengths to try and communicate to ensure that all these illegal miners resurface safely. We've gone as far as writing posters or drafting posters, sending them down to the shafts, sending a negotiator as well. We've even gone as far as allowing water and food to be delivered down to these illegal miners to allow them to gain strength so that they will be able to come out. But even those efforts fell on, deaf ears. We are now at a situation where we are aware that these illegal miners refuse to resurface, they refuse to cooperate with the SAPS, and we have no choice but to stamp the authority of the state. And I think it's important to indicate that we are not backing down as law enforcement. We have a responsibility to prevent and combat all incidents of criminality, and illegal mining is one of them. We are not backing down. As you can see behind me, police officers that are deployed to combat illegal mining operations. Day shift is making way for the night shift. They have been working hard, dedicated in combating these types of illegal mining activities that we are seeing in this area.
That's very interesting, Brigadier, because in the last few days, there has been the situation, especially through our reporter based in the northwest, that the police at a certain time would pack up and go. But you are suggesting now that the police are going to be stationed there day and night. Do I have that correct?
Absolutely. We've been running this particular operation for several months, where we employed a strategy to ensure that we block the provision of food, water, necessities to underground, all these shafts, as a form of forcing these illegal miners to resurface. So our operations are 24/7. We do have members that are static at all these abandoned, disused illegal mining shafts that are just waiting to ensure that when they do resurface, they are processed and arrested. And I must indicate that when they do resurface, We do inspect them. There are police officers that are standing there with metal detectors to detect whether or not they do have gold-bearing material with them, whether or not they have firearms with them. So today we saw about 4 resurfacing. Unfortunately, one decomposed body was brought up. We have registered an inquest to determine the circumstances surrounding the death of this particular illegal miner who was brought up this afternoon.
Yeah, and that exactly is where I want to lead to next, because the language that I've been observing from yourself, Brigadier Mathe, is that these are people who refuse to come out. Today, you have seen evidence of a death from underground, and you say this is a decomposing body. And it talks to what some people are saying. These are people who are facing a perilous situation, basically a life-threatening situation. They do want to come out, but they seem to be stuck because they have no energy because of resources or replenishments that have basically been blocked from going underground, whether it's water or food. Why are you intent on this narrative that says they refusing to come out? They have the capacity to come out on their own, but they are refusing. Where do you get that information from?
Well, Koli, we must make it quite clear, as the SAPS and as law enforcement, we are not going to be allowing any police officer to go down there, any SANDF member to go down there. We have been reliably told by the mine owner, as well as the Departments of Minerals, Resources and Energy, that this disused and abandoned mine is not safe. It would be inhumane to allow people to go down and operate, and especially police officers who serve and protect the people of this country with dedication and commitment. So let's make it quite clear. We do believe where we are standing that we have provided ample time for all these illegal miners to resurface. We are investigating allegations that there are gangs down there that are preventing some illegal miners from resurfacing. There's a lot of intimidation and so on. But we have made that call. We are not backing down. We do understand from what we have been told from those that have been down there that the situation is a bit dire. People are falling ill, but we are making that call to say, here is your opportunity, resurface. As soon as you're resurfaced, there are emergency services that are available to attend to these particular illegal miners. As I've indicated, we've got hazardous gases underground. We have been advised accordingly. But also what is of key importance to communicate is that in most of the incidents that we have worked and as the SAPS and as the NAT joins, we've picked up that all these illegal miners are heavily armed. We have collected and seized 369 high-caliber firearms since this operation started in December in all the 7 provinces that we are operating. We've had confiscation of more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition. So we are obviously concerned about the risk, especially loss of life down there, but we have provided that opportunity to say resurface. We are not blocking any route, exit or entry. We have merely deployed police officers to stand static there to ensure that no food, no water is taken down there, but also to ensure that no commodity that was mined illegally is brought up, and such things like drugs and firearms are also not brought up.
Very briefly, Brigadier, you said an investigation has been launched to determine who is recruiting the illegal miners. Are you making any advances as far as that investigation is concerned? How far are you, basically? Well,
these illegal mining investigations have been ongoing for quite some time. we have arrested a few illegal mining kingpins. You will recall earlier this year, we had 6 that were arrested in Carltonville, together with their wives. We have seized some of their properties, some of their vehicles, and so on. And I do believe some of them are out on bail. We also recently arrested some 2 illegal mining kingpins in the Limpopo province, where they were arrested for dealing illegally in chrome. And they were found to be in possession of about 20 million of chrome. So we do believe that we are making inroads. We are investigating who are the kingpins, especially on this particular operation. We do have information, but at this stage, that's not information that we are going to be sharing with members of the public. It is an ongoing operation. We do request the people of this country to support this particular operation, to support our men and women in blue, as well as members of the SANDF who are here to stamp the authority of the state. I must say, Vala Umgodi operation has registered commendable progress. Since inception from December 2023, we've had reduced incidents of dead bodies that we are picking up of illegal miners that were involved in turf wars. We haven't had incidents. You will recall there was an incident in Krugersdorp where 8 women were raped by these illegal miners. And I think the challenge there and why there has not been a breakthrough in that particular case is because the majority of these illegal miners are foreigners, meaning we do not have any information on them. So if they do commit these crimes, it becomes difficult for us to trace them and so on. So we are urging communities around here, support the work of the police. We are not here to work against you. Let's work together to prevent and combat all forms of criminality.